Blighty Boxing, in association with Frank Warren and Queensbury Promotions. We're here at the Queensbury Ibox, and we're joined by the landlord, the proprietor, Mr. Alan Smith. How are you, sir?
Yeah, good, Richard, thank you.
Now, just with you, obviously, it's a rundown, a state of the union, if you like. We'll start with Henry Turner, who we just spoken to there. And he said, but yourself and Jimmy Tibbs said his debut in December at the Copper Box was as good as anything you'd seen in the last 20 years.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've had debutants go out and blitz the kid in around, and Dennis McCann was hard to beat. But overall, I was so impressed with him. You know, he hadn't boxed in a while, he's young, we give him a tough opponent. And for variety, for punching power, for the whole package, I thought he was incredible. I'm very pleased.
Very classy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a classy kid, he's a very good kid. And you never know until that first bell goes on his debut and how good he really can be. And he impressed me more than he did in the gym, so...
Very good temperament, I would have thought.
Yeah, he's a really nice boy, comes from a nice family, and you know, like I say, Dennis McCann suggested him, and Dennis don't rate many people, because you know he thinks he's the number one, but he rated him. He said you got to have a look at him. So yeah, I rate Henry massively. I really think he'll be one to watch out for.
Which takes us nicely to Mr. Menace. Now, I was looking earlier on. I mean, he had 5 fights in a space of about 7 months last year. I mean, it was a good launch pad to his career.
Yeah, I think you know, everyone was waiting to see him, and when he did what he did in his very first fight, I think obviously they want to see him again, and he did it again and again and again. And you know, because he's knocking him out in quick fashion, and he sells himself so well, and he has a little bit of that complete package. He needed that, but he needed the time off as well. So you know, MTK and Frank sat down and wisely give him a little bit of time off over Christmas.
Becoming a little bit of a poster boy for the gym now. Brad's gone. I suppose that there is a vacancy there, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, they've all got that spot. You know, I like Dennis. Like, I'm personally very, very close to him. So, you know, we spend a lot of time together, and he'll ring me in the morning and tell me what he's had for breakfast. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get through my own meetings of work. But, yeah, I think they've all got a thingy. But, you know, he's leading it because he's got a little bit something different about him, you know, in personality as well. They've all got it, but he's just that little bit in front of them in that. And, you know, they're all doing it together, which they all know that. They're all getting the attention through one or the other.
He's a real bag of tricks. Now, in all the time I've been here, watched a little bit of stuff you do in the ring, I've never actually seen you practice corkscrew uppercuts. So where did he get that one from?
He's always had that. He's had it from Repton, yeah. So he's a corkscrew. I call it, he goes mad, you know what I mean? But he's always done it, you know, and we don't practice it because he's just so natural at it, and he's a little bit awkward as a fighter. He's a little bit different. He's not so uniformed, and everything's like, you know, regimental, and I think letting him be the way he's it will always bring out the best in Dennis.
Which takes us nicely on to Jammy James, Eithan. He's had 2 fights, and he looks very accomplished, very calm in the ring.
Yeah, he was an incredible amateur when he was an outstanding amateur, and he's a nice, classy boxer. It will take a little bit longer to light, really, I think, really, but that doesn't worry me because he's got the skills and the pedigree, and, you know, Andy who's his manager, and will bring him on exactly the right stage. A little bit like Brad, you know, a little bit of a slow burner, but, you know, he's got the pedigree to go all the way.
Mickey the Gent, he's on 3 fights, and probably surprising to him more than anything, he's desperately awaiting that first stoppage.
Yeah, do you know what I think it is? I just think he's just maturing into his body, and he's not been given easy tasks, has he? You know, we offered a kid with a 9-fight record and only 1 loss, and they turned it down today. You know, I don't want to drop any names or anything like that, but, you know, so we are looking to move him in the right direction, but cleverly, and he'll find it. But I just think him being in that welterweight division, they're a little bit harder to stop. You know what I mean? They're big. It's a natural man's weight, that 10-7. I've had a couple of champions that weight, and round about there. So he's been given that introduction that he has to do them long rounds, but I think that will suit him in the long run.
Well, he's been working with you since he's 15, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been with me a long, long time, Mick. He wanted to turn pro. He would have gone to Mexico and turned pro at 15 if he had his way. But yeah, he does it the hard way as well. He comes in, he does his hard graft, he'll spar anyone, but he's still only 19, and so I have to be careful, and I have to remind him he's 19 as well.
Sam Noakes, 2 fights, he has got his stoppages. So, I mean, you did promise us a bit of a bull in a china shop with him, but I think he's been a bit more controlled than maybe we might have expected.
Yeah, I tell you, Sam Noakes is some fighter. You know, he spars everyone, and I've had some, you know, Archie Sharp coming else out, which is a privilege. You know, he's a world-class fighter, and he said, "Wow, he can punch out." You know, so when you get guys in that pedigree with that experience and he can punch, he's learned to box a little bit. You know, he is the current, or last year's ABA senior champion. You know, his record speaks for itself. So I think Sam would be a massive surprise. You know, he's good to work with and all. You know, the running track, they've asked him to run professionally for him. You know, not he's gone. I mean, he's that good at everything he does.
Someone who's also very naturally talented, and I understand there's some good news, is little Jake Pettit.
Yeah, he's back in the gym. He had a problem, an injury, quite seriously, and we didn't know whether it was going to stop his career. But he's back in the gym. You know, he's been with me since he's 13 years old. So he's had a hard, you know, couple of bits and pieces. But you know, Jake will always be part of my team, no matter what he does.
Kevin Ajako, is he back in the fold yet?
Yeah, he's back over next week. You know, Kevin's the senior guy in the gym now, isn't he? So
23.
At 23, but you know, multi-talented, nice boy. Got it all. So he's got a couple of good fights lined out. We've got a really good fight for him after this one. I believe it's out in April. And then we've got a really good fight for him. You know, I can't mention it, but he really wants it. And it's a you know, 60-40 fight.
You do get the feeling he's ready for it. I mean, even though he's only had 6 fights, you can't forget the sort of 110 or 130 amateur fights. He's got that seasoned look to him.
Yeah, he had 150 fights, then he was an international, he was an elite, you know, he boxed in the WSB. But everyone accelerates at different stages, you know. I remember James Barrett Senior was the best amateur I'd seen come from Repton, and he never made it, and he was outstanding. I thought it'd be a well beater. Tom Stalker. So you have to, even though you've had that incredible amateur experience and pedigree, you have to make sure you do the right fights at the right time. But he is a little bit more advanced than the others, and he's going to get that little bit of a push on. But you know, obviously I will sign off the opponents.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of more advanced, how's Uncle Lucien getting on?
Yeah, he's in great shape. I'm looking forward to it. I thought he should have won the first one, but you know, I like Brad Foster. I like his dad as well. I like them as people. I think it'll be harder this time round, but Lucien knows what to do to win. I think Brad Foster has to adapt and change. If he does, it's a tougher fight. If he don't, I don't think he wins. But it's good. It's a great fight. It's a great trade fight against two kids. And Lucien Reid's a good talent. You know, come from Adam Booth, not many better than him, and you know, he's applied his trade well with us.
Playing devil's advocate, do we see a better Brad Foster this time? He's a young man. Last year he had 3 12-rounders back-to-back. Maybe took a little bit out of him, a little bit jaded. Do we see a fresher Brad with the experience of being in with Lucien this time?
100%. I don't think he'll be worse. I think he'll be better. But then, on the flip side, Lucien Reid had 1 fight in 8 months. So do you get a better Lucien Reid? So you know, when you go on that fight, I'm not looking for an edge to win. I'm just looking for Lucien Reid to be Lucien Reid and a better Brad Foster. So there's always a looking for an edge, but I'm not that type of trainer that needs that. You know, I'm confident in Lucien. I think Lucien is confident in himself. I don't think the styles suit really. It was a good fight, but it was a little bit messy. But I think it will be very similar, and I think Brad Foster will try to, you know, adjust. But I think Lucien Reid was a good amateur, been around, been to some good gyms, and he'll be able to adapt to whatever Brad Foster brings.
Have I missed anyone?
No, I don't know, because there's so many in gym. Johnny Garton,
Johnny Garton. Oh no! How could I? Johnny Garton, now the former British champion. He's always linked with a fight. Let's not beat about the bush. He's always linked with Conor Benn, but there's other fights out there with titles potentially he could have, I guess.
Yeah, look, you know, Johnny Garton, I'm going to look after Johnny Garton. He served his apprentice. You know, Conor Benn's a good fighter. Tony Sims is a very, very good, very good friend of mine. And they're saying, look, you know, kids will queue up and fight us for nothing. Well, you know, that's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, whoever's telling people that, they're mad. But I'll do what's right for Johnny Garton. We've got very, very, very good news to announce very, very soon.
Brad's still about? Is he okay?
Yeah, I spoke to him this morning. He's on his way to his gym doing his Keep Fit classes. Yeah, so, you know, Brad will always have a big part of my heart. He boxed all my amateurs when he was 11, so I've known him, you know, he's now 33, I think. So, yeah, he's good, really good. So he's
still in trim?
I don't know. I couldn't see down the phone, but I bet he don't weigh 10.77. But, you know, he's always, like, tall and slim, and he's probably not a million miles away.
Mr. Smith, we'll let you get on with your night's training. Thank you very much, sir.
Cheers, Rich. Thank you.